Hello, 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 people of the world and the Come Up universe. It's me, Nick, and this is the Come Up. Oh, we're here. We're live. It's takeover time. Are y'all excited? I'm excited. You better be excited. We've been plugging it for like 2 weeks, maybe a month. Okay, this is going to be great. I'm going to bring on my amazing co-host for this incredible 2-night event. She is the host of the Body Liberation for All podcast. She is a trained nutritionist. She is a brilliant human. I am a big fan of her, and you are going to love her too. Here she is, Dalia Kinsey.
I love that. That is the best introduction I have ever had.
How are you doing this week? Before we bring on Jamillah,
really good. I've been feeling, I think it was last week or the week before, I hit a wall with this COVID mess and white supremacy. Hit a wall.
Hey.
And I just felt kind of run down, depressed, very nihilistic, everything such. And then all of a sudden, through the help of my Black business coach, who's specifically helping women of color decolonize their businesses, she helped me realize where I was losing a lot of energy trying to show up in an acceptable form for different audiences. And I didn't even know I was still doing it because I'm all about liberation, as evidenced by the title of my podcast. I have a strong feeling that God is gay and she's in love with me. That's how I'm feeling today. God is gay and she's in love with me. Things are good. Now, things could change tomorrow, but I am really trying to fully experience this moment of just, it's like bliss. I fully came out of the closet. Everybody's informed, right? Mm-hmm. And the world did not implode and everything is fine. And another weight has lifted. Like, how old are you going to wait until you're fully going to be yourself? How long are you going to wait for permission? What are you willing to give up at the expense of your purpose? Because how can you live your purpose if you aren't willing to just fully embody who you naturally are? You know? Ooh. And so I'm just like, I'm feeling loved by the universe today. At the risk of sounding extremely cheesy, disgustingly cheesy. That's how I'm feeling.
I love it. Didn't I tell y'all not ready? Listen, here she is, love of my life, Jamillah Hinson.
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing this week?
I'm being a person. I think
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to really enjoy the fall and just sink into myself. See, I'm just very happily content right now where I am. Yeah,
that's good. We like happily content.
And you look well lit. You're glowing a little bit. You must have kept playing with the lighting situation.
The rigmarole. Get this light.
Listen,
I live in a basement. I'm on the third floor of a building. It's like I live in a basement.
Listen, I always tell people that it's full service on every side. Like, we have a team in everyone's house up here at the Come Up. You don't know about it, but our budget is expansive.
I believe it.
Right.
I think that there are spaces that exist. AfroCon is a space that exists. I think that there are institutions that exist for Black people. But like, it's that level of the accuracy of like, how do we make it for all Black people? Because a lot of those spaces are
absolutely
problematic. Yeah.
Exclusionary, full of respectability politics, transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic, all the things.
Everything, ableist, every single thing that could be.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there it is.
I think at least in a once again, I'm going to be like, I only know visual arts, I don't know theater, but in a visual arts capacity, how to give that autonomy and that freedom and that just that comfortable, accurate space. I would say, bring it out into the world. Like, you have to, in the art world, there has to be a reckoning of putting the art world back into the hands of the artist. There is no way that a collector, director of exhibitions, even a curator or programmer is going to be able to fully give the space that's needed, I believe, until the art world pulls back from its whiteness, its heteronormativity, ableism, honestly, unless it's like performative, I want to say. And you just they have to let go, and they don't want to let go. And until like these big institutions can let go, people are going to keep on flocking to, these tiny galleries in Pilsen, or this little, or public space one in Iowa City, because like, where else am I going to go to be able to feel like I am in control? And also, if I'm not in control, I feel comfortable with what is happening,
Whenever I talk to people about it, it's like, that sounds simple.
Yeah.
What
Doesn't it all?
what is it? Why is it so hard?
I have been struggling a lot lately with trying to give people space to be stuck, because it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be complicated, but we imagine barriers and they become real. So people keep trying to find all these complicated ways to solve problems that have all these steps and involve fundraising and all this work, when what they need to do is internal work. Release your white supremacy, release your hetero supremacy, release your ableism, and work on all of your unconscious bias. That's hard work, but it doesn't require a plan or any funding. It requires you to be self-aware and interested in becoming a better version of yourself, but understanding that you're not losing anything. Space, power, access, it's not a pie. It's not limited. You are not losing anything if you make sure that a person with disabilities has equal access to dignity and joy in the environment that you're living in together. You're not losing anything. Like, when have you ever seen a ramp for a wheelchair and been like, that's not my day, Like, it's interfering with the stairs. No, it's not interfering with anything. It's making someone else's life easier, the way your life is easy, because you walk. And all the world is set up for people who walk. You know how hard it is to control yourself sometimes. That's really a skill we have to build. Most of us have not been taught to be introspective or to control our thoughts at all. We just let them happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, because you can also control that idea that everything is an obstacle. Like, whenever I'm talking to someone, especially right now in the creation process in theater, like, I need artists to stop. I need specifically like theater artists to stop acting unimaginative and just be cool with where we are right now. Like, I get it. It was rough, but like, the world shut down on March 12th. We got to move forward. Okay. It's winter. Okay. So I keep hearing you talk about barriers and obstacles and what we can't do and what's not possible and why it's difficult. And I'm like, we could be seeing this as opportunity, in creating a smaller space, like for Black, brown, and queer folks. I think that it actually looks at like looking at how much we have of a space already, like how much headway has been taken, how many steps have been taken, and this moment has given a lot of folks time to like sit and be like, I think that's what I've done, is like figure out like what's my version of creating that space. And then how do I use that space to connect everyone else? How do we turn obstacles into opportunities? That's the service.
But really sounds like you must have some natural disposition for that. So you tell us, because it sounds like you see
Nick is like a
opportunities.
fountain of just enthusiasm,
Yeah,
positivity.
you're over here being all famous and stuff. I keep seeing you.
Something I say to a lot of nonprofit leaders. They never listen to me because for some reason, if you're not white, and you're not above the age of like 50, no one is going to listen to what you have to say about anything in a nonprofit leadership conversation, right? And so I'll say things like, I create out of necessity. And you can do that in your own life. You can do that organizationally. You can do that institutionally. Like, what do we need in this moment? And then just feeling that need with the thing.
I kind of started to build community within myself. I needed to kind of reevaluate who I am when I'm by myself consistently and constantly, to be able to go in go back into my communities and my friend groups and things like that, and make sure that those bonds are still really strong so that we have each other in this time. You know, so I'm not, so it's just like a way of building your own self in order to build a stronger community with outside of yourself.